Okay. I'm gonna try not to make this crazy loud. I'll put on shuffle and loop. So, I'm gonna read through the current article of impeachment that has been placed. It's a doozy. And I'm gonna try and summarize it without like trying to lean one way or another. Oh, that's for one shot. What the okay, well, I guess my notepad's about to eat shit. Why'd I do that? Oh, close. Alright, so just close that. Okay. Hold on, I have one-shot stuff open. Oh, no, go back in there. Why is Copilot baked into this? I don't know. Alright, so... impeaching Donald Trump, the 119th Congress, first session, H-Res 353. So this is what we are looking for. Impeaching Donald John Trump, President of the United States, for high crimes and misdemeanors in the House of Representatives. So I'm gonna explain how impeachment works. Hi, I just took AP Gov, so I'm still kind of in that mindset. So, the way impeachment works, as far as I'm aware, and as far as the Florida Department of Education has provided me, is someone in the House of Representatives, which is HRES, will introduce the articles of impeachment. And the trial in itself, if it gets through the House of Representatives, will be held in the Senate. So, hold on, like, how does impeachment work for a president? So, House committees like the Intelligence, Foreign Affairs, and Oversight Committees may investigate alleged misconduct by the president. Based on investigation, the committees can draft articles of impeachment, so I'm assuming a committee that is in the House of Representatives has drafted this. I don't know what committee it was saying here. Committee on the Judiciary, so the Judiciary Committee drafted this. The full House of Representatives votes on the article of impeachment. A simple majority vote is required. So meaning, simple majority vote basically means even if it's just barely majority, it still counts. Whereas supermajority, which is 2/3 or 60% of the vote, is required. 2/3 vote is required for a few things. So, if impeached, the House selects members to act as managers who will present the case against the president in the Senate trial. So after it passes the House of Representatives, it moves into the Senate. I'm trying to put this in a more simple way, but the problem is impeachment is rarely ever simple. He was already put on the impeachment trial before, back in 2016, like, not in 2016, but like during his presidency from 2016 to 2020. So, once he reaches the Senate, the Chief Justice of the United States presides over the Senate trial when a president is being tried. The House managers present evidence and arguments to the Senate, while the president's legal team can present a defense. Senators deliberate on the evidence and arguments presented, so I'm going to look at the word deliberate because I don't remember what that means. Deliberate. Done concisely and intentionally, or engage in long and careful consideration. So they take a while to consider, because impeachment, especially with a president, is kind of a big thing. The Senate votes on the articles of impeachment. A 2/3 vote is required to convict the president and remove them from office. If convicted, the president is removed from office and may be barred from holding future office. So, I'm not sure if that means he cannot be in the executive branch at all, or even in the federal government. I don't know what the extent of this is. Let's go to senate.gov. Maybe that'll explain it. So, holding public office in the future. So I think any form of office, meaning he cannot be in politics anymore. Like, even if he was to be, like, mayor of wherever the hell he lives at, I don't think he could be a mayor anymore. Like, genuinely, I think impeachment's that bad. So, let's go through it. Is it... Okay, does it actually switch my tab? Yeah, it does. Okay, great. It doesn't switch my tab. So, Mr. Thandar, I apologize. So, on behalf of himself, Mr. M. Few, Mr. Nadler, and Miss Kelly of Illinois, submitted the following resolution, which was referred to the Committee on the Judiciary. Impeaching Donald Trump, President of the United States, for high crimes and misdemeanors. Resolved that Donald John Trump, just shorten it to Trump for now on, President of the United States, is impeached for high crimes and misdemeanors, and that the following articles of impeachment be exhibited to the Senate. So right now, I think they're in, like, the argument phase. I think with the filibuster that happened a while back, I think it lasted like 25 hours. I think it's going to turn out good. Because it's putting that voice in their head that Trump's not a good person. Apologies, you're gonna get my vote. So, okay, so Article 1 is obstruction of justice, violation of due process, with the whole deportation thing, and a breach of the duty to faithfully execute. So that's Article 1. Alright. The Constitution provides that the House of Representatives shall have the sole power of impeachment, and that the President shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, and other high crimes and misdemeanors. Further, Article 2 of the Constitution states that the President shall take care of the laws, I can't speak English, shall take care that the laws be faithfully executed. The Fourth Amendment of the Constitution states that the right of the people against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. And the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution states no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of the law. I got rid of this. In his conduct of the office of President of the United States and in violation of his constitutional oath to faithfully execute the office of the President of the United States, and to the best of his my brain's going faster than my mouth. Hold on. To the best of his ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, and in violation of his constitutional duty to take care of the laws, be faithfully executed. Trump has abused the powers of the presidency in a manner offensive to and subversive of the Constitution and that. So he has directed and permitted his subordinates and attorneys at the Department of Justice to violate their oaths to uphold the Constitution, laws of the United States, and rules of professional ethics by adducing? Hold on. That's a word I don't know. Side is evidence. Okay. Where's it? Misleading and willfully false courts of the United States and to otherwise abuse their official powers. Specifically, he has sought to dismiss without prejudice and under false pretenses the bribery and fraud charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams in an unethical quid pro quo exchange for the defendant's cooperation with the administration's political priorities, thus abusing the criminal laws to unconstitutionally commandeer a state officer and unit of government in violation of this sovereignty thereof, and terminated and purged career Department of Justice attorneys without reasonable cause and in violation of law in retaliation for their legitimate investigatory and prosecutional work under prior administrations, including in relation to the Jan 6th attack on the United States Capitol. Directed and permitted the evasion and defiance of binding court orders, deporting people to El Salvador, deported Kilmar Armando Abrigo Garcia, despite a binding withholding of removal order, defied court orders upheld by unanimous ruling of the Supreme Court to facilitate the release, acted in contempt of court for violating a court-sanctioned settlement agreement, and conducted enforced disappearances of persons without due process and without disclosing their fate and location to their families and legal counsel. So I think this is a bunch of legalese for not listening to people. Directed and permitted the deliberate and systematic violation of laws duly enacted by Congress. Specifically, he has terminated Inspector Generals, the officers responsible for detecting and preventing waste by auditing and investigating the respective agencies and operation personnel in violation of the stipulated by the Inspector General's Act, as subsequently amended. Terminated a member of the Merit Systems Protection Board, a tribunal created to address widespread public concerns about the Federal Civil Service, and unlawfully transmitted sensitive Oh dear. This is bad. Okay, so here's the thing. It's a lot worse than I thought. There is a lot. I knew he was going to get in trouble. I knew he was going to get in trouble for the whole kidnapping people thing. But he's doing a lot more that I don't think the public's really talking about. Disregarded federal laws and constitution, threatening the integrity of the democratic system, betrayed his trust as president, abused powers of the presidency, how many executive orders has Trump signed? Oh dear. In 2025, Trump has signed 143 executive orders. What? So this is the most recent. So I think this goes backwards. Is there a way to make it? I don't think there is. It goes from oldest to newest. So if I just scroll down. Oh dear. So. Jan 20th. Let's see how many did he sign January 20th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 26 in a day? Okay, it slows down after that. But Jesus Christ! And more got signed January 23rd, so... Oh dear. So how many on January 23rd? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4 signed Jan 23rd. 1, 2, 3. 3 signed the 24th. 2, 3, 4. 4 signed the 27th. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was like 200, but maybe it's because some of them are either not there. Wait, because the White House can't do our government. Interesting. Article 2, usurpation of the appropriations power. I'm kind of in amazement of how nuts this is. Donald Trump has withheld funds and terminated en masse federal employees in numerous federal agencies and departments, including the following. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, the wording on this is kind of funny. Created the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. So, my thinking with what's gonna happen if he does get impeached is it's gonna be JD Vance, who arguably, how old is he? He's gotta be like in his 40s, right? I was right, 40. Yeah, I'm 60. JD stands for James David? So he chose JD to like sound cool. I see how it is. It's okay. We need a little we need a little gender euphoria sometimes. So basically the 3 articles so far. Article 1 basically is talking about how he's violating the Constitution. Second one is talking about how he's basically deleting whole departments. Which, by the way, that's in the power of Congress unless you're independent executive agency or regulation or whatever the fuck. Because then that's under the direct control of the executive branch, but otherwise you're kind of, you don't answer to the executive branch unless you're one of those executive agencies. So, dismantling the Department of Education, got rid of USAID, created Doge, blocked funds to the National Institutes of Health, the Federal Aviation Administration, Department of Veteran Affairs. Abuse of trade powers and international aggression, so I think this is talking about This is talking about him trying to take over territory. I'm not even sure if he's joking or not about that. Or it's also about the tariffs, I think. Yeah. Annexation of Greenland. Annexation of the Panama Canal. Annexation of the Gaza Strip. Okay, whoa. Okay, so I didn't even know he was doing this shit to Mexico. Unlawful and aggressive military action within Mexico to include drone strikes and use of special operations military personnel, ostensibly against drug cartels in violation of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of that country without any congressional authority. Alright, this is not me siding with him, I just feel like this should be known. So, war powers. So, as seen here, there's something called the War Powers Act, which basically, what it's supposed to do is stop, like, it's supposed to limit the president from doing anything crazy, but here's the thing. You have to notify Congress within 48 hours. And then you can be there for 60 days. After 60 days, you have to take them out. Or stop the operation. So it's meant to satisfy the president's need to, the president's need to, excuse me, my mind is to act urgently, but the problem is, if you don't get the congressional approval within those 60 days, you have to withdraw, or else you're basically committing a war crime. You technically are committing a war crime by this, because you're not getting congressional authority, but whatever. Violation of First Amendment rights. So I think this is talking about when he's dismissing people that doesn't agree with him, and he's also blocking very specific language. So this is talked about him creating Doge. And by the way, impoundment is not legal. At least I don't think so. Yeah, bribery and corruption. There's fucking 6 articles? Tyranny, 7 articles? So yeah, 7 articles. Fucking yikes, man. Hold on, let me eat. I was AP testing all day. I'm allowed to be hungry. So this is the Judiciary Committee. So let me, hold on, you're gonna have to pardon this here. Impeachment. I'm trying to, I wonder if it's on C-SPAN. It should be. That's not. Is C-SPAN not streaming? Streaming it? I guess not. Interesting. Actually. So this was submitted earlier because it was said that on the 5th, on Cinco de Mayo, it would be submitted to the thing. Co-sponsors. So this guy is the one that is doing the impeachment. And then the House Judiciary Committee. There is no summary yet. This was just submitted, so like I don't think there would be one yet. Shit's nuts if you ask me. So, from what I'm understanding, so he's being alright. I'm writing them out for a friend of mine so that way they can see it. So there's that. And then so first one, violation of the Constitution in several ways. One, it's like amendment. Hold on, let me look at this. So part 1, 2, amendment 4 and 5. Article 1, 2. Oh shit, God's mad. Alright. 4th Amendment, 5th Amendment. Yeah. And then, so the second one is getting rid of government organizations, which, if memory serves me right, only Congress can do that. So, 3, aggression against Greenland, Panama Canal, and what was the other country that? Alright, and also illegal war operations in Mexico against cartels. Violation of the First Amendment. I gotta have an AI summarize this. Hold on. I'll read it. Maybe I can understand it. So, alright. The Constitution provides that the House of Representatives shall have the sole power of impeachment, and that the President shall be removed from office on impeachment for a conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. I think this is summarized at the start. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. And in his conduct of the office of President of the United States and in violation of his constitutional oath to faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and, to the best of his ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, and in violation of his constitutional duty to take care of blah, 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 blah. Trump has abused the powers of the presidency in a manner offensive to and subversive of the Constitution, and that by his orders and direction to subordinates, retaliated against law firms and attorneys who have advised or represented or been associated with those who advise or represent litigants who displease him. In violation of the Constitution's prohibition on retaliation against individuals for engaging in First Amendment protected conduct, including the right to petition for redress of grievances. Specifically, he has barred attorneys at certain law firms from access to federal buildings, arbitrarily revoked security clearances without a reasonable basis, threatened to cancel federal contracts with any entity engaging the targeted attorneys and firms, and demanded pro bono services from law firms in exchange for the discontinuation of the punitive executive orders. Additionally, Trump has engaged in a pattern of unconstitutional, unlawful, and corrupt retaliation against critics and political opponents, a flagrant violation of the constitutional rights protected by the First Amendment. He has weaponized the Department of Justice and other agencies to engage in spurious investigations and harassment with no basis in law, public figures, and his perceived political enemies. So, McCarthyism. So, this part is talking about harassing law firms, pretty much. Violation of the First Amendment. Harassing law firms. McCarthyism. By the way, McCarthyism, I learned this in US history. McCarthyism is basically another word for, like, investigating people. And back then it was the context of investigating people to see if they were communist. And, it was because of someone named yeah, his name was Senator Joseph McCarthy. So, it was during Red Scare, and it led to a lot of people losing their jobs. So, that's basically what that was about. Furthermore, he has made direct and unambiguous public statements threatening media outlets, current and former office holders, and advocacy organizations. He has pursued meritless litigation, leveraged his public office for private gain, and perverted the course of justice and the integrity of the judicial system to extract tens of millions of dollars in settlements. Oh, so that's worse than I thought. Let me turn this up because it's up. That's worse than I thought. Jesus Christ. You know, I thought it was just going to be the deportation thing, but it's not just the deportation thing. It is a lot of things. Oh dear. That's not good. Give me the fucking potato. Thank you. Extortion. Pardons that Sleepy Joe Biden gave to the Unselect Committee of Political There is no way that's a real quote. Oh shit. You reading this shit? Oh shit, Sleepy Joe Biden. I wish this was the Sleepy Joe Biden gave to the Unselect Committee of Political Thugs and many others are hereby declared void, vacant, and of no further force or effect. So basically, he declared the certain pardons void. I gotta copy this because okay, what else is it? Wants to eliminate his political enemies. Jesus Christ, the fourth article is so... Alright, we're finally on 5. Creation of Doge. Only Congress can make or destroy these things, and Congress knowingly has the power of the sword, the power to create war, and the power of the purse, which is basically managing the money. Trump is basically trying to be all three executive branches, which very much violates checks and balances, you know. I'm also noticing it also violates the Pendleton Act. The Pendleton Civil Service Act. Reformed the federal civil service system by establishing a merit-based system for hiring and promotion. So basically you have to be qualified, and technically he's in violation of the Pendleton Civil Service Reform Act, because he's basically rewarding his buddies with, you know, government jobs. So if this goes through, it's going to be a landmark decision that I'm sure the AP curriculum will go over at a point in time. But also this could mean that they can expand upon the Pendleton Civil Service Act to where only the president can not nominate qualified people for secretary of whatever they need to be. So, for example, like having a renowned doctor in the Secretary of Health position instead of, you know, an anti-vaxxer. Maybe they'll expand upon it, and I hope that they do. I feel like if we expand it, it'll actually do a lot better for us in terms of who can be one. Because it doesn't mean we don't get some random Joe like being Secretary of Health. Because here's the thing, we want qualified people to do this job. Not random people that Trump's on television. So, bribery and corruption, so... I hope people can, like, actually read through this, because it is very interesting reading this. So... I think it provides the summary up here for every article, I think. So, alright, so, accepted bribes, oops, actions, influence, engaging in fraud through crypto, so received bribes from firms that support him. I think that's how I'm interpreting this. Fueling his own businesses. Told his subordinates to violate the law. Told his subordinates to violate So solicited didn't spell that right, did I? No, I did. Foreign governments aggression against Greenland, Panama Canal, and the Gaza Strip, as well as all the tariffs, also illegal war operations in Mexico against cartels. Violation of the First Amendment by harassing law firms, basically committing McCarthyism, extortion, and threats against the media, and a direct quote from Trump, which was if I say it again, I'm gonna laugh. The part that Sleepy Joe Biden gets to the unselect committee of political thugs and many others are to avoid vacant entitled for no further force or effect. Wants to eliminate his political enemies, outlawing people from speaking negatively about him. Article 5, creation of Doge, violates the powers that Congress holds, also violates the penalty not being given reference jobs as a reward, impounded funds, aka withholding money for certain government departments and bureaucracies. Accepted bribes from actions and influence, engaging in fraud with crypto, received bribes from law firms to support him, killing his own businesses, those supporters violated the law, solicited foreign governments, violated the rights, and then the 7th article is violated the rights of the people guaranteed through national rights and the rights listed in the Bill of Rights. So that is pretty much it. There's more listed in this. It's a doozy. And this is all available for you to look up. If you literally look up Trump 2025 impeachment article, you get this, congress.gov. And it updates you pretty often. I don't know when it was last updated, but this is like being introduced in the House, and then take a while, the articles, because it has to be debated and then it has to be put up to a vote, plus we might have filibusters and a million other things that may happen. And I'm pretty sure the people in power that are Trump supporters, they're gonna try and slow this down as much as they can because they don't want to see their Lord and Savior get impeached. Pretty important that we don't let this happen. Oops. So there's that. Wonderful times. I'm gonna forward this to. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway. What the fuck are you? Go to channel. Interesting. Join today. Alright. I think that's pretty much it. It's being debated in the House right now, so it's gonna take a while for it to finally go through. Oh, shit, Barack Obama and Michelle Obama got divorced? Damn. Well, that sucks. Oh well. Oh no. Ugh, whatever. I'm sure it's gonna go. It just might be a bit slow. Probably. No, not as slow as my brain. Maybe though. Who knows?